Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Listen, man, when we finally get to see Chavez Jr. get it right, because you can see that, well, you saw at a point in time there was something there, but everything else was kind of cloudy, like this image that I have, right? You know that there was something there and may still be there, but it's kind of hard to see it, because of all of the drama that surrounded him and the destruction substance. Yeah. Okay. The destruction substance and lack of commitment. And I think the fact that he's just Julio Cesar Chavez, son, and that could have probably presented a lot of pressure for him. Anyway, we know he's going to be fighting Jake Paul. Jake Paul goes by the problem child, and it's easy to argue that nickname probably better suits Chavez Jr. Now, let me just say this. Under any normal circumstances, I would probably pick Jake Paul to get the victory because we know with the secret society, the key decision makers behind the scenes, they're going to make sure the fighter they want to win wins the fight, okay? When it comes to Jake Paul, I'm not saying Jake Paul can't fight. I think Jake Paul has learned to fight. He can box. Like I said in the YouTube short earlier today, he's not Miguel Cotto, though, all right? But he can fight. But I just feel that this is that with the climate in boxing, with what Chavez Jr. sat back and watched, with Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn fighting each other, those guys were fighting for their last names. Both of them, I think, in any other circumstances, would have quit that damn fight. Them guys are going life and death. And I just think Chavez Jr. is going to be motivated and inspired by that. Also, the fact that maybe most of us thought it was over for him in his last boxing match. But when you look at now, him having an opportunity, I think he's 39 years old now, to come and almost right the wrongs of his boxing career and do it against a guy like Jake Paul. Look, some of you are going to say, oh, he's beating Jake Paul. It's not like he's beating Badu Jack, Jai Apatai. It's not like he's beating Dimitri Bivol. I get it. But this is the stage can't get any bigger. It can't get any bigger. And I think every person out here, especially Mexicans, are rallying up to get behind Chavez Jr. I think so. I think they're rallying up, getting behind him and saying, come on, don't let us down. Now, if this was, Victor Ortiz, it'd be different. And nobody give a shit about Victor Ortiz. That dude is a quitter, okay? But Chavez Jr., I think they're going to get behind him. You got to remember, he got that last name that when you hear it, people think about his dad. So we're going to see just how all that plays out. Anyway, Chavez Jr. became the WBC champion. The WBC. The WBC is a shady-ass organization, but anyway, back in 2011, he became the WBC champion. He defended that crown 3 times, and this is where I was watching him. I was like, ain't nobody going to beat him. And had him on the same level as Canelo Alvarez. I think he would have beat Canelo if he wasn't weight drained, and I'll be honest with you. Canelo knew what he was doing to get that victory. He couldn't even put a dent in Chavez Jr. Chavez Jr. would have whipped his ass if it was a level playing field. But anyway, man, he came and he fought Sergio Martinez. Martinez was able to stay busy and outwork him, and then Chavez Jr. almost got him, just like his dad got Meldrick Taylor in that last round. He had Sergio Martinez all over the place in them big-ass baggy shorts. But anyway, Martinez was able to survive. I think the referee should have stopped the fight, but that's just me. When you get beyond Sergio Martinez, you just saw in Chavez Jr. lack of discipline, not wanting to train properly, not wanting to make weight, and losing to Canelo, which was a joke of a fight for me. But after that point, you saw his career descend into a free fall. Now, from 2019 to 2021, right? This is where he was just going through it, man. He picked up 3 losses in 4 fights, and those losses weren't just going in there fighting as hard as you can, get knocked out. You could just tell he didn't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jacobs on the fight, that was a joke of a fight. Then facing Anderson Silva. Again, another joke of a fight. Ain't no in the world Anderson Silva should have beat no damn Chavez Jr. But anyway, here we are now, him at 39, about to scrap Jake Paul. And I understand people picking Jake Paul to beat him. I just have a feeling that Chavez Jr. is going to show up. And Jake Paul, I think, is kind of, maybe Jake Paul exudes the confidence he does because, again, these fights are being fixed and they know they need him to keep winning. But if the fight's not fixed and everything is on the up and up, I don't see how he can have this confidence. And if he does, I just think he's gonna be in for a surprise. He's gonna be in for a big surprise. I know Jake Paul can hit. Jake Paul's strong. I believe everything his trainers say. I believe everything anyone who sparred him or fought him. I believe everything they say. There's something special about the white boy. Okay, but I also feel that when you talk about 54-6 with 34 knockouts, Chavez Jr. I know there's something there. I know there's something there. It's just a matter of what shows up, especially if he can do it at age 39. To me, it depends on his fitness level. We're going to find out real soon, man. Now, this whole thing about Jake Paul going to expose Chavez Jr., expose what? The man's it's already out there. He's had drug problems already. He's had mental issues. It's already out there that, he doesn't have a commitment to boxing. It's already out there that Chavez Jr. is more missed than hit. So Jake Paul out here thinking he's going to expose somebody, I think that's a joke, you know what I'm saying? Chavez's personal life hasn't been free of problems. We all know that. I mean, it's no secret, you know what I'm saying? The Culiacan native, has been arrested multiple times, in America and in Mexico, and particularly in America with these damn illegal firearms, and we know he's been on drugs. So I don't know what Jake Paul thinks he's going to accomplish if he can clip Chavez Jr. and expose him, because we all know, again, if Chavez Jr. decides not to fight, that's what we're going to get. But as far as Jake Paul, I like the fact that Chavez Jr. fired back and like, look, Jizzle P is overrated. And I think we all believe Jake Paul's overrated. We think he can fight. We give him credit now. But I'll put it to you this way. He's overrated himself. No one else has given him the kind of praise and accolades that he's given himself. That motherfucker, if you list Jake Paul, he'll have you thinking he's going to go in there and beat Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I believe the best fighter doesn't always win. It's the fighter who performs the best. So Jake Paul has a chance, but let's hold our horses and not take it to the stupid, all right? He hasn't fought anybody. And really, he's fighting old guys. When he got into it with Tommy Fury and Jake Paul, Tommy Fury put the bing-bings on him. But I do know that Tommy Fury, I got to be fair, I know he's working with Usman Sajjad, and Tommy Fury has never looked that good in a boxing match. So I think they jerked Jake Paul on that one. But, bottom line is he lost. But I do think they did Jake Paul a little dirty in that fight because Usman Sajjad and Tommy Fury ain't never looked like that. But the bottom line is we're going to see what happens when they get together and fight in California. I don't think the fight's going the distance. And with Chavez Sr., he's very critical of his son. But I do believe when he comes out here and he says that his son is training hard, I believe that. But as far as him saying there's no way Jake Paul beats his son, I have to tell old Chavez, Cesar Chavez, to hold his horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Anything can happen in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Anything. I'm just hoping that Chavez Jr. is finally going to give us a chance to see him get it right. But we know he lacks discipline. Look, man, the man was born with a gold spoon in his mouth. People say a silver spoon. Now, fuck that. He was born with a 24 gold, solid gold spoon in his mouth. So I'm not surprised that when he didn't have to do certain things, he didn't do it. But we're going to find out if Chavez Jr. has the championship mentality like his dad. Because I can tell you right now, Jake Paul sees money signs. He sees dollar signs. And he's cherry-picking his way into a title fight. And if he beats Chavez Jr., believe me, guys, he's going to fight Zurdo. And you see Oscar De La Hoya there in the mix. Remember Oscar De La Hoya was, Jake Paul, nobody should fight him, blah, blah, blah. Then he said he will fight him. Now he's right there promoting the fight. because he wants that money. So Zurdo Ramirez and Jake Paul is what's next if Chavez Jr. loses. This is why I talk about the secret society and key decision maker behind the scene. I think deep down there may be some shit going on to set up the big money fight with Jake Paul and Zurdo. Because remember, Jake Paul's been working towards fighting for a title. And when you look at how his career's gone, it's amazing that he's got to this point, right? Almost like Tyson Fury telling us, or like Daniel Kinahan telling Tyson Fury, I'm going to lead you to unimaginable wealth and to the top of the heavyweight division. Fucking Tyson Fury got there, didn't he? And Jake Paul said he's going to fight for a title, or fight Canelo. He had the Canelo fight, didn't he? Turkey Al-Sheikh broke that shit up. Now he's fight for a title. So here it is again, about to get it up in a title fight. Y'all pay attention to what these fighters say and who's supporting and who's in their corner. And you look how this shit plays out. I ain't saying every fight is corrupt, but I damn sure feel Jake Paul shit is scripted. That's just my 2 cents. Anyway, y'all keep cool. In boxing, you learn step by step. Chavez Jr. has missed several steps. Let's see if he can get it right and step out and show people what that Chavez last name is all about when he and Jake Paul get in the ring and scrap. Keep cool, I'm in the breeze.